This video will show how. I created my most recent artwork, Red Sunset City, all done in Krita, of course. I began by firstly adding background color. I wanted to be a reddish sunset to set the mood. Added a horizon line to more easily connect the buildings. I use a pixel solid brush and rulers to draw a building straight down and in solid colors. Beveled the tops of the buildings to give it that distant curve. I copy pasted it around. Now in a new layer, I did taller buildings in a very dark blue hue to give depth/distance. Depending on the city you're doing, you can just slap these around. Every time you add another distant layer of buildings, you want to slightly change the hue to a lighter blue. In a new layer, I added the very front buildings in black to hide the gaps that reach the horizon line. Here, I added the shores as a placeholder. Now for the windows/lights. What I do is create a bunch of squares and slap them onto every side of buildings. This very first building was redone later, more of a test. Doing it my way saves time but can be very awkward. I scratched the other lights and made new ones for more narrow lines, with far more windows. The process of adding lights to cityscapes can be extremely long, even when all you have to do is copy paste it onto every building. This is due to it being landscape, and the lights took 70% of the total effort to do. But you basically just wrap around every tower for every building layer. I'm going to speed this section up, but as it progresses, you can change colors, add or remove windows, and just keep going until it starts coming together. Now we're back. Here I added a red underglow between each of the city layers, giving depth. After finally finishing the lights, I added another layer of building for depth. Also added more distant buildings without lights to give further distance and enlarging the city. I began adding small antennas and details to the rooftops to give more detail. I did this on mostly every building and every layer. On those little antennas, I sprinkled little red dots all over the tips to add more detail. With the way I work, I had nearly like 40 layers worth of stuff, but that'll all be cleaned up later. Then I began on a massive sun and background. I created a sphere, then filled it in with white. The size is a stylistic choice. I wanted far better looking clouds, but it was a struggle doing it right. Mostly noise brushes were used. I then added a red glow around the sun, using Gaussian blur to give more light to the scene. Also indicates it's more of a sunset. It'll speed this part up as I kept reworking the clouds, as I didn't like them normally. I wasn't recording for when I created those clouds, but they're simply far more detailed, with a red cast from where the sun's light is hitting. I tried using a GMC filter for clouds, but they didn't turn out too well. Then Gaussian blurred the sun in another layer to give some blur and glow to it. I then put my focus onto the shores. Using the leaves brush, I added more detail to the edges, making it look like grassy shores. I then combined every light layer and copied every building layer and pasted it, then merged it together to do the reflection. Then used motion blur on max to give it that distortion. Also did that for the sun and clouds. I added more reddish glow to the water surface, making it far more visible. Then a final red underglow on the horizon line. To detail the shores with our any colors, I added some power lines and barricades. This gave it a more apocalyptic feeling. Added some small broken fences too. Fixing up mistakes. Played around with the overall color, but I think it looked best in its darker realistic color, rather than full saturation. Then added some glow spots along the bigger lights on the buildings. Did a mean removal filter to brighten it up. Also spammed the mean filter on the water ripples to distort them more realistically. But that's about it. I missed a few details, but it was an 8-hour recording reduced to 10 minutes. Support me if you learned something new.